So, after reading the buffalo sentence and spending quite a bit of time trying to understand exactly what the sentence meant, I really thought about, as a teacher, what are the implications for my students? I teach at a school that has a lot of students who are English language learners, or students whose test scores are actually quite low in English. And it made me think, what do I need to do to support them more? But first, that meant spending some time digging into homophones and homonyms. To start with, some of the homophones that even adults to this day still get wrong: there, they are. It would be talking about what a group of people are doing. There, a location, over there. And lastly, there, possessive. Think about it. If you said the sentence, they're over at their table over there, that would be incredibly confusing to even a grown adult, let alone a student who's trying to learn the English language. Other homophones that sometimes even adults get confused with: to, I'm going to a place. To, inclusive, include me too. To, the number. Even as a math teacher, I have to make sure that my students understand which of those words they need to use and when. Another type that's more focused on that buffalo sentence are homonyms. So I spent some time thinking about what are those homonyms that might mess up a student, especially, say, as I'm writing math word problems. Some of the ones that I Googled were bat. So when I Googled the word bat, the most prominent image that came up was that of an animal. But I know that when I'm writing a word problem, I might actually be talking about bat like a baseball bat. This was the lesser of the options that came up when I just Googled the word bat. Another example would be if I was to say the word bank. Googling the word bank, the most common option that came up was a picture of the location, a bank, where we put our money. But maybe that's not what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm actually talking about laying on a riverbank. A little less common, but maybe I'm talking about a bank of switches. A bank of switches has 5 by 3 rows. How many switches are there? That would be confusing to a student. And even a little more obscure, maybe I'm talking about a bank shot and pool. There actually are pool problems that talk to students about the math of hitting the different banks of a pool table and making them try to come up with what are the proper angles. But if I just say bank and a student's thinking of one of the different options, that's going to be confusing to them. Lastly, this last option was actually when I Googled the word, just the word image. It came up 50-50 and I just took a screenshot. So when I searched the word mouse, I got a pretty good mixture of, is it a computer mouse or the type of mouse that eats cheese, the animal? So that one was pretty mixed. There wasn't a predominant quote-unquote answer in Google search for that homonym. Another one that as a teacher I have to think about is product. In math, product means the answer to a multiplication problem. But down the hall, when a student's in their social studies classroom, product might be referring to the different products that countries create and sell. This has a lot of implications as a teacher. It has implications for having word walls or having pictures associated with your words and really knowing the language abilities of your students.